Guys, I'm absolutely fuming. We just filmed about 10 minutes of question. To be fair, luckily we were only on the first question. And my camera decided to not work. The memory card broke. So here we are, starting again. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we've got little dominoes and we are finally filming our house buying Q&A. So we've just bought our first house. We've been here for about 2 months now. We are no experts. We don't really know what we're talking about, but obviously we've done it, so we can share our experiences, what we've learned, etc, etc, etc. We've got a lot of questions. And the first one we started with was, how much would you recommend saving each month and what are your saving tips? So I was saying how we both had a Help to Buy ISA. You can't get Help to Buy ISAs anymore. They stopped in November 2019, I think.
Yeah.
But there is alternatives. Tom was telling everyone about alternatives, which I'm probably not going to get into again, but they're like lifetime ones, and you can get ISAs. But we had a Help to Buy ISA, which
lifetime ISA.
Basically you can open it and put as much money in as you want, but once you've submitted that initial deposit, you can only put in up to £200 a month, and every £200 you put in, the government will top you up. No, so it's anything you put in, the government will top you up 25% basically, or 20%, 20%, 20%. So, no, 25%.
25.
20.
25.
25. So every time I put money in, the government top me up. You never actually see that money. You send your money to your bank when you put your deposit down on the house, and then the government send the money straight to your bank or your mortgage supplier. So I was putting in £200 every month because that was the maximum amount. So I was saving £200 a month. And I'm not going to talk about deposit prices and stuff like that because I'll get on to that in a minute. But I ended up saving £4,000 in my Help to Buy ISA, but it actually came to £6,000. So I actually got £2,000 put towards the deposit just from using a Help to Buy ISA. So it's a shame you can't get them anymore. There's not really much point me.
Yeah, but you can get lifetime ISAs and you can get basically probably better deals off that.
Okay.
Yeah, 100.
So yeah, I was putting in £200 a month for that, set up a standing order so that I never touched that money. Tom tried to do the same, but he had driving lessons and stuff like that, which he used some of his deposit money for. Whereas I never touched mine. From the minute I started saving, I put £200 a month in, and that was that. So that shows how long I was saving for. 2, 4, 6, 8. I only saved for 10 months, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No. 10.
When you say £4,000,
Yeah, how many months is that?
£200 a month.
Yeah,
It's not 10
10,
months.
20, 30, 40
20
months.
months. 20 months.
Is it?
Yeah. Because £200 for 10 months.
That's £2,000.
And you say £4,000.
So about a year and a bit. Yeah, that's about right. So I started
Almost 2
saving
years.
like January 2020.
Almost 2 years.
I started saving in lockdown basically. Almost 2 years, and I got to £4,000. So that is basically one way that we actually managed to move, is the Help to Buy ISA, because that was a £2,000 extra top up for me, and there was quite a lot from you. You had over £1,000, didn't you, top up?
Yeah.
No. Did you?
Something like that.
I think you had about £1,000. We basically got like nearly £3-4 grand from the government. Saving tips, set up a standing order. Basically what I used to do is, 2 seconds, let me finish this mouthful.
I am so bad at saving as well.
He was the worst.
I just...
You were just rubbish.
just had money to blow and blown up.
Whereas I was never good at saving until lockdown. I didn't save a penny, and then all of a sudden I was like, right, this is ridiculous now. Like, I've been working full time for 3.5 years and I have no money to show for it. Obviously I had clothes and whatever, but I had no money. And I think once I'd said to Tom, like, for my past 3-4 years working full time, I've made like 70-80 grand, and I have £0 to my name. I was like, that's got to change. Like, that is not okay. So I did my £200 standing order every month. Then my car's on finance, so I'd pay my car back every month. Then I would give myself basically like £120, £130 a week, which is more than enough money. You do not need more than that. Like, I lived at home. I gave my mum rent, which was £100 a month, which is, I was very lucky to only have to pay £100 a month, but I literally had nothing to pay for, and I still gave myself £100 a week even. So that's £400 a month just to spend on clothes, going out, food. We lived just normally, didn't we? Like, we did everything we wanted to do. And then anything extra, saved. I was saving, I would say, maybe £600 a month. And that's not including my YouTube money, like my influencer money. That was just my full-time wage. I would save around £500–600 a month and still lived just normal. And I'm not on a high wage, by the way, can I just say. I'm just on a average, probably lower than average wage. And then influencing started picking up money. Like, I didn't really get paid anything really last year, but this year my influencing like payments really started coming in, so I did use quite a lot of that for savings, but still not much. So most of my savings came from the Help to Buy ISA. So definitely start one of those. That's my tip. What's your tips? Actually, don't take tips from him. He was rubbish at saving.
Just
he'd say put it on crypto and then lose the whole lot.
Live your life.
Yeah, just make sure you keep living.
But look at me now, I've got a house. So yeah.
There's a lot of questions about how much is your mortgage and how much deposit do you put down. It's not that I don't want to answer this because of money. I don't really care about talking about money. But there's no point me answering it because everyone's is so different, isn't it? Like, every single person is so different. There's no point talking about mortgage payments and stuff like that because everyone's is completely different. Same with deposit. The deposit is dependent on how much the house is and how much percent you put down. We were lucky enough to get a mortgage company that would let us do 5%, which again is another reason we actually managed to move out, because our deposit was small compared to most people's, wasn't it? Like, when I tell people how much our deposit was, they're like, what? Considering we live in a really, really expensive area, our deposit was so small. It's not that I don't want to talk about money, because I really don't care. It's helpful to know, like, I get it. But at the same time, there was no point in telling you, because you could go to a mortgage advisor and yours could be £500 more than ours, it could be £500 less than ours. It's all dependent on your house, where you live, how much deposit you put down, the interest. We've got quite a good interest rate. All just stuff like that. Solicitor fees, that is one thing I will tell you, because they don't vary too much, do they?
No.
Neither do. Again, depending on house size and stuff, but it's not that bad. So we didn't pay stamp duty because
first house.
it's the first house and it wasn't above 350,000. I think that's when you start paying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if you're a first time buyer, if your house is above 350, you have to pay stamp duty, but ours.
I'm stuffed.
I'm not. I only have one slide, so I'm chatting.
I ate all of mine in the first recording.
Oh, let's go to the future. How much are your solicitor fees? Sorry if it's personal, you don't have to answer. Honey, I will tell you how much our solicitor fees were. So, they were about 1,700. I'm pretty sure they were around, no, less than that. 1,200. I think we paid about £700 each.
I just remember every flipping month
day
having to pay for something extra. So if you're trying to buy a house, expect just more fees.
And the thing is, you can't even say no, like,
it's not like, oh, I'm not paying that. Like, if you're not paying it, you're not getting
they'll email you and say, oh, we've had to look for something else, so you need to
do a valuation of the house. Is another £300.
Yeah, we had to have 2 valuations on this house. So basically, we went for a mortgage company that the people that lived in the house were with. All went through fine. This is why we had such a struggle buying the house. Like, if you want a video of like our house buying process, we could do that actually, because otherwise if we put that in this video, that would go on forever. But basically, we put in the offer, got the offer accepted, got the mortgage accepted, everything was fine, everything was absolutely fine. Then all of a sudden the mortgage company were like, actually,
that was like after 3 months.
Yeah, we were waiting. They were like, oh, it'll be 2 weeks, and we were waiting and waiting. This was in July, can I say? We viewed this house in June. In July, they were like, you'll find out if you've got the house. August, September, nothing. Then they all of a sudden said, oh, the mortgage company pulled out and said they didn't want to, because this house is built of timber frame, so you can either have like a traditionally built house or a timber frame house, which is what a lot of new builds are. And the company decided, we don't offer mortgages on timber frame, but they didn't tell us that until about 12 weeks after we'd been waiting.
They covered this house before.
Yeah, they covered it before, but it was their new rules or whatever. We had to do the whole process again. Whole thing again. At this point, we'd given up. I think that was probably the worst month of my life. Like, not even just like, to be, like, I felt crap, didn't I? I just cried.
It was like August, wasn't it?
I think it was like
August,
September,
yeah.
I just cried every day. Not even because like, it's like people get saying, oh, if it doesn't go through, you'll find something. When I tell you we wanted this house so bad, didn't we? And it wasn't even that, it was just the stress. And like, not in a bad way, but I did all the emails and I was the one that spoke to everyone because it was just me that like applied for everything. And when I tell you how many emails was I sending every day, phone call, like I was stressed to the max. Like it was stressful. But it got to the point where I couldn't even bother to explain to Tom like what was going on because I was just like, we're not getting it. Like there's no point me even telling you what's happened today because we're not getting it. So that was stressful. But yeah, we're talking about solicitor fees. How have we gone off on a tangent? This is why I'll do another video about us buying the house. Solicitor fees, yeah, we got quite good solicitor fees. And the good thing is with them, they don't all come out at once. So when we got our quote and it was like 1,200 or what, I can't remember what it was. You don't pay that all at once. So we paid like £300 initially, like a deposit to start it. Then you paid like £200 a couple of weeks later for the searches.
No, 350.
350 here and there. Like it never was.
275.
And
like,
then
every
just
week
paid,
it was like, oh. Yeah,
but that was over a few months, and then there was a little bit left at the end, and they're like, just pay the rest off when you're ready, basically. But you will always know how much they're gonna be because you get a quote, so you can find how much you want to pay, basically. Obviously, the more advanced the solicitors, the better the more expensive they'll be. But our solicitors, hats off to them, they were so good. Everyone said, oh, all solicitors are rubbish, or you're going to have no luck with solicitors, blah, blah, blah. Don't go for the cheapest. We went for the cheapest because we didn't have money to pay.
What was it, like MVP or something?
Are we allowed to say? Yeah, so we went for MJP Conveyancing. Everyone was like, go for somewhere local. Don't go for the cheapest. We went for one that was in Norwich, which is about 3-4 hours from us.
Yeah,
they were the cheapest, and when I tell you, I couldn't even say a bad word about them. They replied instantly every single day. People said, oh, you won't hear from your solicitors for days on end. We'd write something and they would respond in minutes, and it was all on an online portal. We didn't have one phone call with them. We didn't have any email into them back. It was all on online portal, which we always have access to. Both of us have access to it, and we can still log in now. Everything that we ever needed was on there. Like everything, all the letters we had to sign, they'd upload it. We could sign it online and just put it back in the portal. It was literally, I couldn't fault them.
But our mortgage advisor.
That's how much our solicitor fees were. But again, they will all vary. Just go on a comparison site.
How do you both agree on decor? My boyfriend is very stubborn.
You don't know that.
So, I don't give a monkey's, do I?
No.
If it was down to me, I'd have a pillow on the floor with a TV on the wall, and that's me done. Like,
I think you just trust me.
I'm not fussed. I think that you're right. So like when you buy something, I'll just be like, yeah.
You know that it's gonna look like that. You don't.
I don't really care. Like at first, I wanted, as long as the house, inside the house looked how I wanted it to look, like the vibe of the house.
We could put any decor in here and it would work. If you like, the house is just light white brown floors, really light white, like cream.
Just looks nice. Like
it's just a nice house. We're very lucky.
That's what I mean. Like when I lived at my dad's house, he has the same sort of vibe house, but it was
completely opposite decor.
Yeah, he didn't care about the decor either. So like,
still look like
I'm
nice
sort
house.
of like, as long as the house looks nice,
doesn't matter.
What's a print on the wall gonna do?
Like above our bed, we've got two prints. One's a girl's sparkly hand in a mirror, and the other one's a high heel with sparkly trousers on. You don't care.
What was that? Sorry,
the prints above our bed.
Yeah, like they're not me, but it's fine.
It's sparkly girls, but he don't care.
Will this be your forever home, or do you intend to move and sell?
Do you want to carry this one while I eat?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. I know we've only been here like 2 months, but
I would stay here forever. It's just too small.
The view's a joke. The area's nice. The house is nice, but
too small.
In like 5-10 years time, it's not going to be big enough.
Both said before we started looking for houses, like,
what we wanted.
What would our dream first house be? This obviously isn't our dream home. Like, our dream home would be much bigger, and but realistically, what would our dream home be? This. When the lady that sold us the house opened the door, we were both like, this is it. Like, we didn't even step in and we were like, this is it. Like, 100,000,000%.
And imagine if we would have viewed, like, it sounds weird, but if we would have seen it and it would have been like a minging day or something like that.
I think we still would have loved it.
We would have loved it, but like the fact that it was like the hottest day of the year, she had the windows open overlooking this sick view. and it was like, mate,
but
this
we didn't even want to give this house a chance, so we'd been looking on Rightmove for ages. Basically, again, I will go into detail about our house, but I'm posting another video. But we viewed one house. It was the first house we viewed, and it was, again, everything we wanted, wasn't it? For the first viewing that we ever had down that street. It was really weird because we'd already said, before we even started looking, oh, I'd love to live down that street one day. Found a house down there, it was perfect.
Innit? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was so weird. Like, it was perfect. Unfortunately, we missed out on it. A couple viewed it. As we went to view the house, a couple were leaving, and they put an offer in before us.
And yeah, and they got
the house
because they were first.
Yeah, so that was unfortunate. But we were like, we're never going to find anything as good as that. Like, there's no way we're going to find anything
Deep
as good as
how
that.
dead that was compared to this.
I know, but then we went to another house, and it was atrocious. Like, I've never, like, it was...
Woman was hitting a bomb in the house.
She opened the door with a joint in her hand. Like, we were both just like, we didn't even want to go in, but we had to. But I'm not even going to tell you that. Like, it was just
weed.
awful.
They were like,
there was flies. Like, I'm not even going to talk about it.
Respect to like.
But the house that we viewed is exactly the same as this house, but it had like the living room floor was the whole way through. Yeah, it didn't have the tiles. It was the whole way through.
Oh wait, do you mean like the style?
The layout of the house is exactly the same. But this house, we weren't even going to give it a chance because the pictures on Rightmove were awful. It was just like pictures of the floor. Like, it was just like, you couldn't see the house at all.
Yeah.
You literally could not see the house, but we were like, do you know what? It's in the same area of the houses that we want to be in. Like, it could be okay. So we were like, let's just go. We pulled up and we were like, thank God we came to see it. Like, thank goodness we came to see it. We got the offer that day. But no, this won't be our forever home. As much as we would love it to be, it won't be. It's too small. Even now, like, it's fine for two of us, but now we've set the spare room up as my filming room. We don't have a spare bed. We don't have a space. Like, Tom plays his Xbox down here. Like, it's perfect now, and it's a very spacious house. Like, there's only 2 rooms, but everywhere's very spacious. Like, our hallway, that is so spacious. And if we wanted to knock that down and extend the living room, we could. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's not going to be big enough for a family, so no. Yeah. It's not going to be but our first home's never your forever home. No. Our forever home's going to be bigger, it's going to be better. Basically, what we'd want is this, with maybe an extra floor, a separate dining room. If we could just extend everything, or take this house and put it in a bigger area so that we could extend it out, then yeah. Bigger. Since we've been
it's winter.
We actually haven't even stepped foot
in the garden. I've got a goal for Christmas of going in the garden. Cake on me.
We are not garden people.
Shut up, Kate. How did you know you were ready to move in with me?
I've read it.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I told you earlier.
Yeah, no, you did tell me. I
did tell him that, but I'm joking. I do know we've been together about 6 years, so it's just time in it. We basically lived together anyway, just like between houses. We had the money saved, we've been together a long time.
And
so I know. Like that.
Yeah. I am fat.
What sort of things did the bank look into? E.g. betting. Everything.
Apart from, I'm a king on the old accumulators on a Saturday and they didn't say anything. They
don't say anything, they still look at it.
Yeah, but like, I'll slap a little fiver at the
They don't mind that.
weekend.
What they're looking at is if you're in debt, if you're in your overdraft, if, like, just stuff like that, like, irresponsible. He put a £5 bet every now and then. Like, they look at, like, money, don't they?
Yeah,
because
actually,
they did a search on our names and something came up from someone that had the same name as you.
Yeah, someone had the same name as me that was bankrupt and
it was bankrupt. Ireland. And that didn't come up until right at the end. Like, we were about to move and it came up and I was like...
Have I been bankrupt before?
I thought he's been lying to me, like, he's bankrupt. But all the letter said was, if this isn't you, just say it isn't you. Like, that's all you had to do.
What would you have done if it was me and I was bankrupt? So I've just been lying the whole time.
It was only £100. They look into everything. Well, not everything. They look into your last 3 to 6 months, don't they? Sometimes they said, oh, can you send 3 months? Banks, sometimes they're like, oh, we need 3 extra months.
Oh my God.
He got a new job halfway through, so everything was like a bit confused. We had a really confusing time, basically. Don't try and buy a house when you've just got a new job. Don't have 2 different addresses on all of your bank statements. He's got a mum's house and a dad's house. Yeah, he was struggling because he had his bank statement and his driving licence and his phone bill all had different addresses, so it was all very confusing. But they look into
Yeah, to be fair, they've done their job, but
don't panic about your bank statements and stuff like that. All they want to see is that you're getting. So when you submit your mortgage application, you have to put how much you earn each month. I'm going to be completely honest. I was in a lot of debt on my credit card when we applied. I've got a loan with my car, which is quite high, and I still managed to get a mortgage. So if you're worried about like people looking into your banks because you don't have a lot of money in your bank, I had like £100 in my bank account when we submitted our mortgage application.
One time I sent a bank statement across, I had like £9.
They don't care. They just need to see that you are getting the money that you say. Because obviously, getting a mortgage, you're paying that company back. So the company need to see that you're going to be able to. Like, if I'm applying for a mortgage, that's £1,000 a month, but I only earn £400 a month. There is no physical way I'm going to be able to pay that mortgage. So that's the sort of thing that they look at. But don't worry about like credit cards and stuff because.
You know, one time I had time off. I had a deduction on my pay slip because I was off because I was isolating, and they asked. They were like,
"Why was you off?
Why was you off? And is it going to happen? Are you going to get money deducted every month?"
So then, when that happened, we had to wait for Tom to get another pay slip so that we could prove.
Yeah, and that was like 3 weeks.
So you just had to keep waiting and waiting and waiting. It was just a lot of waiting. But yeah, they do look into everything. But at the same time, don't panic. Like, if you bet occasionally, as long as you're not in debt and you're not doing stupid things, then you'll be fine. Here, found it. Is Instagram your job? If so, was it harder to get a mortgage because you're self-employed? So, basically, I still work full-time. Yeah, I am registered as self-employed on the government website. You have to be if you're earning money. So I am registered as self-employed. However, I work full-time. I could have had the option to use my self-employed, like, how can I explain this? Like, yeah, so, what's the salary? I know when I do Instagram, YouTube stuff, I'm not really on a salary because it's different every month, but I could have submitted my tax return to the mortgage people so that they could have seen how much I'd earn, and that could have gone towards the mortgage, but my mortgage advisor said that our salaries from work were enough to get us the mortgage. So like there was no point putting my self-employed stuff in there because first of all it would have just confused everything because I'd only been doing it a year, and if you've only got a year's tax returns, they're quite funny about it, aren't they? Because you need like 2 years of books basically. I only had one. So he said if we needed any extra money to help us get the mortgage, then to submit it, but our salaries from work were more than enough to get it basically, so we didn't need to. So no, to get the mortgage I didn't use my self-employed, what is it, salary? It's not salary though, is it?
Well, what she asked was, did you do it through Instagram? Your answer is no. No,
basically. But if you work full-time and are self-employed, you can, if it's going to help you, but it wasn't going to help us, so there was no point. How did you afford the furniture straight away? Honey, we didn't. We've been buying stuff.
Yeah, we've been buying stuff before.
We bought stuff for the house before
we
bought this stuff for the house before we even had found a house.
Yeah, we had
His dad's garage was full of stuff. Stuff that like we knew it didn't matter what house we were going to be in. We'd want so like cups,
cutlery,
mugs, cutlery. We knew we wanted gold cutlery. We knew we wanted clear mugs.
We got this sofa before we'd even had that last offer.
This sofa was £60 from a charity shop, hun. It's not all glamorous around here, you know.
Yeah, but it's nice.
It's a very nice sofa, but a lot of people have like £400 or £500 sofas. Don't be fooled. This was £60 from a charity shop. Our TV unit, £10 from a charity shop.
We got a built-in wardrobe.
Built-in wardrobe, didn't have to buy it. Tom's dad very kindly bought us a TV. My bed was very kindly gifted. We've been very fortunate, but at the same time, you can find stuff cheap. Our rug, most people pay like £300-400 for rugs. Our rug was £45. Mum gave us that footstool. Cushions are all from Primark.
Yeah, but a lot of people say this. Like when I was moving in, I was saying I'm going to be so skint after I've moved in. Everyone's saying, yeah, but once you're in, you're in, and you can just buy stuff after. Like it's no big deal. Loads of people like, well, I got mates who have got houses that like finance.
When I tell you, you can get finance sofas and stuff like that, which we was originally going to do. We were like, we can't afford to get a sofa. We're going to have to finance it. Then I just went to a charity shop in our town. £60 came out of it the same day.
I actually would have paid like.
But I messaged Tom. I was like, Tom, when we get in the house, we can obviously decide if we want another one. But right now, all we can afford is £60. You always have to remember everything. Well, not always, but if you're buying a house with someone else, you usually split everything 50-50. So it's actually only £30. Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes it a lot cheaper. But yeah, our table was cheap, everything was cheap, but you just sort of get things as you go. But also, I know a lot of you, like, if you're watching YouTubers, that's why you see people's houses. Yeah, they all have expensive stuff. I don't think we spent more than £200 on anything in this house.
Well, like, for one thing?
Yeah.
We spent more than 200 combined.
Oh, yeah, but like, we haven't paid for something.
Not that we've paid for, like, the TV was a lot more.
That was for your dad. Our table was £170. Like, and that came with 2 benches. You don't have to have expensive stuff to make the house look nice. Like, that lamp, I saw floor lamps for £200. We paid £45 for that, 20 quid each. For that.
No, did we get a voucher?
Yeah, we got a voucher. But like, you don't need to spend a lot of money. So when you're seeing all of these YouTubers and influencers spending £500 on a set of drawers,
not needed.
It's unnecessary. Like, I mean, if I was rich, maybe it wouldn't be unnecessary. I don't know. But for us, the cheaper the better. Our blinds, £50 each. We paid for 2 sets of blinds, £50 each. Our curtains upstairs, £10 from Argos, they cost us. Curtain rail was £10 each. Like, we literally have spent nothing on this house. Like, when I tell you, minimum amount of money.
Things.
And we still want to save to buy our next house and, like, save for holidays. Like, we don't want to be here forever. I mean, I'd love to, but we still need to save. So there's no point of spending £600 on a sofa that we're going to get bored of in a year's time.
No, but we've also got a sofa, which is good.
We don't need it. So when you see all of this unrealistic stuff, just don't even worry about it, guys. Just go to the charity shops. They're actually good. I'll go to charity shop on my lunch break tomorrow because I need some drawers for my bedroom. So just go charity shop. What point do you have to send over your deposit amount? So we sent our deposit money over the day before we moved, or the day we moved? The day before.
Yeah, day before.
Day before. I know a lot of people send it the day you move. Our process was very different to my sister. So, like, 2 of my sisters have both moved twice. So we obviously got a lot of advice from them and, like, followed a lot of stuff that they did. But at the same time, our process was so different. So a lot of people obviously physically sign, like, the contract. You go to the estate agent and you sign the contract, and they hand over the keys. That didn't happen to us. We literally signed everything online, did everything online, sent our money the day before, everything like that. We got given a date like a week in advance, but we didn't actually know if we were going to move until that morning.
It was like on the 2nd of November.
2nd of November, like, you're moving on the 9th, but they were like, you might not, but like, chances are you are.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually know until the 9th if we were going to move, which I think is the same as everybody. I'm pretty sure.
A week.
But I think we sent the money over the day before, which doesn't matter. You've got to get rid of the money anyway. And that's what we kept saying. Like, we would rather we just had sent it. It was annoying that
I still
we just sat there and sat there and sat there. But for us, we didn't see an estate agent this whole house buying process. We didn't see one. We did not see.
She took us through the
But we didn't see one professional person in person this whole house buying process. The only person we saw in real life was the lady that owned this house, and we saw her once.
Yeah, and then we saw some bloke that dropped the keys
around. So she'd moved away basically, and we don't need to know the whole story, but no one was living in this house when we moved in. They'd already moved out. And she moved a couple of hours away, so she had a courier. She paid for a courier to bring the keys over to us. So we literally did not see one estate agent, mortgage advisor, anyone in real life buying this house. Our process was very different. We're not sure if it's the company we went with because of COVID, because 2 of my sisters both moved during COVID and their situation was normal. No, it was normal. They saw estate agents.
Oh no, but yeah.
Like, we don't know. We have no idea why our process was so different, but it was. But it worked. Like, a lot of things happened. We were like, is this like a scam? Like, is this actually normal? But it was. We just didn't have to see anyone. And he literally drove here with the keys, opened the door for us, and went. Like, that literally was it. Like, that was it. I need a step-by-step of the process, agreement in principle, then house on, blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm going to do a whole other video on that. And I'm going to try and get it out, like, ASAP so that these videos don't keep taking ages to come out. I literally came down earlier and I said to Tom, like, don't get me wrong, like, there is not one part of me that wants to move back home. Like, I'm so glad I have my own space, my own house, but to just be back at home.
Like,
I was literally saying, like, I'd finish work, I wouldn't have to cook. My mum used to cook for me every single day. I didn't clean, I didn't lift a finger. Like, I was very spoiled at home. but like just the smallest things. I would finish work at 5 o'clock, and when I shut my laptop, I was just done. Now I shut my laptop. I know I've chosen to have a house, but I have to hoover, I have to cook, I have to clean in the bathroom all of the time.
Like, you don't. This is what annoys me about you, because I feel bad because I don't clean as much as you, but you stretch it.
Yeah, but it's disgusting. Like I see a little hair. It's just dirt. Like I don't want to sit in a dirty house. I don't know what it is. I think because my house was very.
All your nail on the floor.
Yeah, I know that. I've been looking at that. It's really sick. So my nail is pink dust. But I came from a very spotless home. Like my mum was very clean, wasn't she? That like now, I used to think she was dramatic. I'd be like, Mum, just sit down. Like you don't need to hoover again.
Yeah, but it is.
But now, I'm the dramatic one. Like I can't cope with it. And he's just like, it's fine. You're slobbing around on the sofa. I'm like, can you just plump the cushion up on the sofa?
Not even stuff like that. It's like she'll come
right
in
now,
and she'll be like, this house is filthy. It's disgusting. I'm looking about like this.
It's disgusting.
I was saying to my dad. My dad was like, you live in a show home. You need to relax.
Nah. There's just so many things I look at and I'm like, bleh. But yeah, the one thing I miss is just basically the luxury of living at home and not having to do anything. But I know not everybody's life is like that.
No, that's ledge.
It's crabby sofa. But yeah, don't stress about it. If you're looking to move out, it will happen when it happens. The right house will come. If you see a house and you think it's a perfect one, I promise you, there's another one waiting for you. Everything happens for a reason. Hence why we didn't. Hence why we didn't get the first house, because this one was waiting for us. But yeah, I'm gonna do another video. Hopefully, like ASAP. I'll probably film it like this week so that it's done. Which is like the process that we went through to buy the house. So start to finish, I'll write it all down so I don't miss anything. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope this has been helpful. If you do have any other questions, leave them below or message me on Instagram and I'll answer them at the end of the next video. But yeah, if you are looking to move out with your partner, don't do it.
Yeah, don't.
Well, I'm saying don't rush into it.
Yeah, make sure you know who you're moving out with first.
Yeah, because if I knew this was the result.
Yeah, it would not be happening.
No, I regret my life so much.
And oh my god, no, I'm not going to go into that.
What?
How much of the bed you take out?
Yeah, but you knew that.
Yeah, but
yeah, no, it's all fun, guys. If you can move out, then it is fun.
Fun and games.
But it's expensive, so just make sure that you are actually ready and willing to have no money. Because we keep on saying as well, have I looked like a mess this whole time? When we have a baby, God knows how we're going to afford that.
Yeah, we haven't had one for like 5 years, so.
That's not true. Okay, yeah, that's true. No, but seriously, like, it is expensive, but it's worth it, it's fun. Wouldn't change it for the world. We love our house. We're proud.
We're proud owners.
21 years old and own a home.
Well,
I'm 22 now, but I was 21 when we got the house. And this guy's 23. That's old. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope this video has been helpful to you. We hope to see you all in your new houses thriving and shining in 2022. If you buy a house this year, let us know because we'd love to see it. If you've got any house tours, tag us in them. And yeah, we will see you
in the next
video. I'm playing like Mummy. You've got red. You've got so red now.